Hello, Professor Smith. My name is Jeremy Schooler, and this is my formal report presentation. My formal report was on the 2019 Apple MacBook Pro 13-inch model. It was an analysis of the user experience of this product in the relation to the value of the 2019 Apple MacBook Air, its top competitor within Apple, and 2019 Dell XPS 13, its top competitor overall. Of course, that's a PC version. As we see here, kind of a crossover between the XPS and the MacBook Air. These were kind of questions and stuff that I really wanted to find out through my research, through my primary sources on this project. I really wanted to pay attention to the value and the production of the MacBook Pro in relation to those other two computers and how it compares overall with different functions. Because of course the MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro have similar functions, but not entirely the same. And of course, a PC like a Dell will have many different functions. So this is a chart that I had made. As we can see, kind of the different prices, that the MacBook Pro is more expensive. It has better screen resolution, slightly better battery life, but really with this difference in cost, in about $200 difference here, and about 150 between the XPS, there really has to be something to make up for that cost. What makes it worth it? And what I found in my research and from my primary sources, and kind of what I realized throughout the project, is that the MacBook Pro, which was a state-of-the-art, well-respected, well-known, very popular line of computers, has kind of gone up and then staggered like this to the point where other computers, such as the XPS 13 and the MacBook Air, really continue getting better. For example, we can see here in appearance analysis comparison here that the XPS 13 is the same size as the MacBook Pro, but it is significantly lighter, significantly thinner. The MacBook Air, for example, it's hard to tell here, but it's a sloped keyboard, which is supposed to be more comfortable to type on. So it's MacBook Pro has really just not made as many improvements, kind of been caught up to by the rest of the pack. The MacBook Pro has a more advanced display, higher core score, and over 25% more intense color. But that kind of comes with the higher price. That's what any computer would have with that price difference. Whereas if you're looking at the value specifically, then the MacBook Pro is kind of not at that level of these other two computers, especially the XPS 15. But for example, this color the MacBook Air is in this picture, rose gold, MacBook Pro does not come in. So stuff like that, where they just haven't been expanding and improving on the product, has made it what I think to be not as good of a financial value, not as kind of as good of bang for your buck as some of these other products are, such as the XPS 15, which I think is the best of the three for value. And according to multiple YouTube accounts, professional YouTube accounts dedicated to kind of testing and comparing tech devices, which I had used as my primary sources, such as MaxTech, TechChap, Digital Trends. This was the case. It had been kind of disappointing among Apple fans that the MacBook Pro really wasn't coming out with enough new to raise or to make it worth it, that they're raising their cost, that there wasn't really enough new with these new models of the MacBook Pro. And as we see here in the last slide, the MacBook Pro obviously is a better computer, which is why it's a Pro versus an Air. But of course, as I said, that just comes with being a couple $100 more expensive. Like it has the touch bar, which is a bar right here above the keyboard, kind of like a virtual keyboard, which is kind of one of the biggest differences between that and the MacBook Air. But I still do think that the Dell XPS is what I found to kind of have been the kind of the highest value of any of them, of any of the three of these, which is really just kind of apparent in the way the XPS has improved, and it's the speed of the computer is kind of significantly better over the last couple models, whereas the MacBook Pro really hasn't as much. So if you see here, as we said, $1,300 compared to about $1,150, $1,050, it's really just not worth it. In my view, there's no kind of value there for the MacBook Pro to be worth it, that extra cost. So this is my presentation, and thank you for listening.